Alright guys, we're coming back to you again today here with Backwoods Slough today. We'll go through the deer process of how we do it and how we get things done with it. I've had to let this buck hang for a couple days. It's been pretty cold here.
What did it get down to? 20?
Got down to 27 last night. He's been hanging since Sunday evening. I usually like letting them hang like this. I think about it as far as being in a deer cooler when it's this cold. It don't really hurt them to hang that long, I don't think. Been doing it for years that way. We're gonna start off on the back hams. We'll work through the process of skinning it, deboning it, whole 9 yards, and show you how we do that. Let's see how we do it. Here we go. Alright guys, this right here is one of the knives that my dad left me. It's one of his favorite knives. He loved this knife. I don't know how many of you has probably seen a knife like this, but you can change the blades out in them. Boning blade, skinning blade, fillet blade, saw blade, whole 9 yards. I've used this knife for many years, but it's a case knife. Holds an edge pretty good. Sometimes it holds an edge a little too good. Sometimes you can get it a little too sharp and it dulls pretty quick, so you got to be kind of careful with that. But by far, it's one of the best things that my dad's left me that he used with his hands on deer and stuff. I figured I'd show you this and let you get a look at it and stuff. But yep, that is the knife that I use. You can see that it's so old that the hole where the button goes is wore out and stuff. But yeah, he even used this leather case sometimes to hone his knife on. Used the leather in it and stuff to hone his knife on.
Maybe on the back side, or? No,
he used it on the inside of the flat here. He used it here on the inside sometimes, but this whole case, it's shown its better days.
All right, so as we start off, we're gonna work our way around this leg.
I don't never cut too high, because you're not never gonna really eat any of that. And I always try to go under the skin. Keeps the hair down as far as that goes. That's something my dad taught me years ago. Just work your way around the leg till you get back around. Just skinning your way around.
And then do the other side, the same as what we explained at the beginning. Over here, work around that leg. And come down with it.
So now you can see that I'm working around the hams. I got the hams cut out, more or less. Now I'm working down to the tail. And once you get down to the tail, there's gonna be a knuckle in that tail that you have to cut. And a lot of times I try to cut in between that joint because it won't dull your knife as fast. I don't know how some people do it, but you got to work your way through the fat. And there's your knuckle. Once you cut the knuckle, you can either pop it a little and it'll come the rest of the way. I cut straight through the knuckle on it. Most times, as long as you hit that knuckle just right, you'll cut straight through it. And you shouldn't have any problems with that because it's just like cartilage in the center of that, which most of you should know. Now we're gonna see if we can do the process of just pulling the fur down and trying to get most of the hide off without having to skin any further. which we'll get most of it down. I say so. Well, you got a lot of fat on it.
Yeah, it does.
Must been packing here. Cold winter.
You just do as you.
So I shot this deer with a muzzleloader in muzzleloader season, and we were using Blackhorn 209, 110 grains of powder, 20 ELDX hollow point, 300 grain, 45 caliber with a black sabot around it. Shot this deer probably about 40 yards in front of me. He come in, never knew he was there, went through the shoulders, and I mean, it just absolutely demolished him. Ran about 20 yards and killed over. So when I get down to this front shoulders and I get ready to skin them out, I always start on the leg, on the back side of the leg. You can see the white hairline, and I usually normally just follow straight up that hairline all the way up the shoulder until I come out up here, and I'll split it out. So you just take your knife tip, more or less just stick it in there and follow that hairline all the way up. You'll have to lift the skin up. Some people, again, everybody's got their way of doing things. This is just the way that I was taught. And forgive me, I need to sharpen my knife a little bit here. You lay that open like so, and you just continue skinning out. You do the other leg the exact same way.
So then you just want to take that all the way down to the neck, and then take it as far as you want to go. And it should look something like this. He's been hit by that hornady pretty good. So next process will be taking these front shoulders off and then resharpen some knives and get back at it. Our hands are freezing. It's still cold out. So yeah, we're about to hook this thing up. He's going to grab the 20-pound tank right now because our hands are getting cold, and it's going to get even colder when we get into the meat.
Yeah, this is how we keep warm, guys.
Yes.
I don't have my built-in heater yet for this building yet, but this is how we keep warm right now.
Back to the deer. All right, so we didn't video, but for this process, we just cut around the meat and then
Pop the bone.
pop the bones. And it should come off something like this. Yep. Both the front legs are off. Ready to get the front shoulders off.
Let me get. All right, guys, we're gonna continue to proceed with the taking the front shoulders off. Some people start with the back straps first. I like starting with the front shoulders. Makes it a little, to me, it makes it a little easier. I can see what I got and what I got to work with here and stuff. But you just work around the shoulder blade and everything in there. But we're gonna get this process started here. I'll do one and we'll let him do one. Grab that leg. Let's see here. Where's that scab? There we go.
now, he's working it across that top of that shoulder, and then peel back and take the rest of the skin off, and it comes right out. And that's what it should look like.
So you can see the shoulder. I don't know how well y'all can see it in that video, but you can see it move here. So your cut point around this shoulder is right around in here is where you need to cut. So that way you leave a good part of your tenderloin, back strap, tenderloin, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, let's switch knives.
Yeah, he just likes using my knife.
So you think we should go up right here?
Right in here.
Right in there?
You'll find that shoulder blade. Feel it?
Yeah, I felt I gotta go around it. Yep.
Go on this side and peel it back. Cut straight through that. That's good. Let's just keep going right. Just going over here. You can get a better grip on it. That's good. Yep. Now I'm going to cut the back straps out. I always take my back straps down to about the top of the shoulder, so you're going to get pretty long back straps out of this. You follow right along the backbone line. You just keep your blade right against that. I'll explain the next step here in a second. Cut it right across the back hind quarter, and I'll come down along the rib cage so far. I usually try to meet about even with this side. You get over into the rib cage sometimes, but you'll work your way out of it eventually.
Let's bring you a little closer for this part.
Now when I get in here, it's almost like a V cut to me. And I work this until I get the top part loose. And I work it kind of like a V on the inside. Now you gotta remember, guys, I'm just a dumb old country boy. I'm not a professional meat cutter of any kind. I don't claim to be. I do the best I can with what I've got. I try to salvage the most I can out of this deer because it gives its life to me. And I try to give the deer all the respect that I can. But you'll just gradually work that down. I may not have went over far enough on that one, but I'll get the rest of that meat here shortly. I don't know, I might have there. I think I did. You were... Once you get down here to the bottom, I don't cut all the way through, okay? And there's a reason behind that. Because once I get down to here, I reach under the back strap where this is at. And I work that down just as far as I can. And once I get down to where I can, I peel, just barely cut through that meat and pull that off. That way you don't have as much work to do when you get done. And then the cooler it goes. This I normally just cut off. There's still a little bit of meat left on that, but I don't think I'm gonna. I might cut it off here in a little bit. Then we'll repeat the process on the other side. Bone all the way down. And then about where that hind quarter ends, I come across and I work straight down that rib cage. Try to get as much of that meat as I possibly can off that. And again, it comes back in here to your V-cut. Takes a minute, but once you get it started and working it, just like that, getting it broke loose. All that meat you can out of there. Grant you, some guys are professional at this. Got all the sources they need. You can see me just gradually working that down each side. Right along the top of that rib cage, all the way down the backbone. And you'll see once you get so far, it'll start turning loose a little easier. And you see it starting to turn loose down here towards the bottom. Meat gets a little tender. I'll work it there again. I stick my hand at the bottom, find that piece of meat there. I'll cut through it, through the meat, till I get to that tendon, and then I'll just pull it loose. Tenderloins. Probably one of the best parts out of the whole deer, I think, because they're so tender. Kind of like the big back strap I just cut off. You go in there at an angle a little bit, cut it loose. Just keep working it out. It'll eventually just pull out because it's so tender. You notice that we've got the deer apart. Now we're going to debone these hams, get them off there and ready to go and stuff. Some people try to take them off all at once. Just depends on what you want to do with it, whether you want to keep it as a whole ham or if you want to grind everything up. A lot of times I grind everything up, so it don't really matter to me how it comes off or anything. You can still work to get that good part out. The way that I normally do this is I go around my leg and I try not to cut through that tendon that holds the leg on. You're gonna have a knuckle here. You'll see that knuckle. I'll work my way around the leg, down below that knuckle. You'll find that bone. You just work your way down it till you get around there. You get all that cut out, cut loose. Now, I'll find my bone again and I'll split it all the way down the center here, like so. And then I'll just get against my bone and I'll work this piece of meat off this bone. Just work it around the bone till you get it all broke loose. It's actually starting to get warm in here.
Yeah.
Work my way down until I find the pelvic bone. Turn this. Come in here, find the pelvic bone, go around it, circle around it till you get down to the tail. Almost like you're going down to the backbone with this, cutting it loose. Once you get to this bone, it'll gradually just start pulling away. You just keep working it down that bone until it'll eventually just turn all the way loose. Grab a hold of it. Just work it till you can't. And then there's your ham. About a 20-pound ham. And then, yeah, I left a little bit of meat, but I'll come back here and clean it up. Take some more of this off here.
And then repeat for the other
Yeah,
side.
repeat for the other side. I've got a little bit of meat, I can say here. There's not a lot, as you can tell. Same thing for the other side. Alright guys, so that's the whole ordeal, the process, and how we do it and stuff, and how we get them off, how we debone them. Again, you just follow that main leg down, peeling all that off. It'll eventually come off. You just stay along the bone, with the bone and stuff. You'll have little pieces like this that's left on there. You can come back, trim this leg up if you want to. Sometimes I do. Just depends on how big the pieces are, where they're at, and stuff like that. All the deer's in the cooler now. It'll be in the cooler. I'm gonna put ice on it. I usually keep ice on it for about a week. Sometimes maybe just a little bit longer, but I like for it try to get all the blood out of it that I possibly can. It takes a lot of the gamey taste out of it. I don't mind the gamey taste, but my wife don't like it as well. So I try to get most of it out as I possibly can, but that's the whole process, how we process that deer. Next time we come back to you, probably be out here finishing the rest of the process of grinding it up and getting it ready and what we want to do with it and stuff. So
And we'll let it sit for about how long?
it'll sit till a week. This time next week we'll come back.
Yeah. And this is all for educational purposes. We're not meat butchers by far. We do this all ourselves from start to finish throughout the whole process. And this is how our family's done it for how many years now?
30 years or longer.
30 years or longer.
Well, I've been doing it for 30 years. My dad done it this way for longer than that, and that's the way he taught me.
Yeah.
And stuff. Not saying that it's all exactly correct. I do it the way that I was taught. Everybody does it different.
You can also tell we take as much as we can from the deer. I mean, down to just seeing just the bone, just like this right here. So, I mean, we do the best we can.
You're going to look at that and you're going to think, well, he left a lot of meat. There's not a lot of meat left there or anything.
So a lot of this is tendony, real tendony.
You don't want this up here. This up here, you don't want to eat.
Yeah.
real chewy. Got a lot of tendons in it. So, but again, catch us next time on Backdoor Slough. Backwoods Slough.